I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk to folks from the VTuber community about their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. RedRYAL joins us. Hi.
Hey, what's up?
How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well.
Well,
You know,
appreciate you stopping by. Could you introduce yourself to the audience for us?
hi, I'm RedRYAL. I do a bit of streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv. I post VODs on my YouTube channel and try to do edited content. I also do some voice acting for my bad voice acting series, and I'm trying to do some singing song covers.
Have you gotten one up yet?
We're still working on it. We're just having it doing a touch up on it. We're having some art getting done by now. You can see that with my one of my artists is actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
The one for my Danganronpa one is DT Text. They do my art for the songs and other stuff.
Oh wow! I mean, big props to you for wanting to put a singing voice on there. I haven't hit a note myself since 1989 on purpose. So uh,
Dang.
I certainly tip my hat off to anybody who can and put it in front of an audience. I mean, have you wanted to sing before, or have you been a singer?
I've taken some chorus when I was young, but looking back now and playing all these rhythm games, I was like, why not give it a try again? So that's what I'm doing, some song covers, and eventually I want to do a original song
Well,
one
cool.
day.
Well, what type of song covers are you gonna do?
Right now we're the phase of Ensemble Stars,
Mm,
which is a game that a friend, DT Tex, got me into. And I've been loving it ever since.
So it's gonna be a song from that.
Yes,
Wow.
it's a Valkyrie song. Yeah,
Valkyrie song. And
yeah,
I'm so old, when I think Valkyrie, I think Flight of the Valkyries from the Blues Brothers.
yeah.
That's
Valkyrie is like a group in Ensemble Stars. Is a
mm,
duo group,
mm.
so I don't want to get into it because it's a
Yeah,
lot of stuff.
yeah. We'll save it. We'll save it for when it comes out. But
Yeah,
congratulations for that, because that takes some courage to kind of put it out there, not just to sing, but to put it out there for other people to hear.
yeah,
Um,
it does.
yeah. And have you been somebody who's not had any problem getting up on the stage?
A little, but when it's like when you're having like this VTuber persona, it's not that hard to get on stage because you're not really showing your real face. You're just showing your other self, which is your VTuber self,
Mm,
which I like to call.
yeah. Well, talking to some folks, they say that you get to be yourself without being yourself.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and it does give you just that little bit of comfort zone between yourself and whoever might be out there. Because let's face it, your audience is potentially the entire world.
Yeah, it's like again, you have people there watching you, and your job is to basically entertain people.
Hmm.
I don't really treat it as like my job. I just treat it as a hobby. You gotta treat it as a hobby, or else you're not really having fun with it.
Yeah, it says
Yeah,
on your channel you're just here to have fun. Yeah,
yeah, basically.
yeah. It also says that you've done some drawing. Are you an artist?
Yeah, I'm actually a digital artist. I sometimes post art on my Twitter.
Hmm.
If you can find it, find it. But right now I have like a bit of a game idea and everything, and I've just created the characters for it.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you've got your fingers in a lot of pies.
Yeah, yeah, basically. I'm doing this as a hobby, and then you have juggling it between my real life. So
Yeah, there's
yeah,
always stupid real life getting in the way all the time.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're enjoying yourself with it anyway, and the more you do, it seems like you want to do.
yeah. It's it's really ambitious, basically. Because it's like hard to balance, but sometimes when you find the right balance, you got that. You just got it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just kind of fall into it. But how did you get started in VTubing?
So actually, it was before I was a VTuber. I just streaming without a VTuber. Then a good friend of mine named Emilius404. They got me into VTuber. They actually say they actually drew up my first PNG tuber, which you can see on the thumbnail.
Hmm.
He's just smiling. And honestly, it's been really fun having this first VTuber since, well, they've been helping me a lot, especially with getting better with OBS and coming up with name titles and everything.
Hmm.
They actually got me into the whole VTuber stage.
Were you a fan of VTubers before you got started, or did they introduce you to the entire concept?
I think they introduced me to the entire concept because I seen VTubers before, but it was mostly from like Japanese VTubers, not a lot of EN VTubers, you would say.
Right. Yeah. So you kind of said, well, you should try this. They kind of recommended it to you, and now you've jumped right in.
Yeah, basically.
Mm. So what do you like to do on your stream?
So basically, on the streams, we basically have the basic Red and Soupy Saturday streams. I hang out with one of my friends, Soupy Spy 8692.
Mm-hmm.
He produces music and everything. He's helping me try and make a original track.
Mm.
But sometimes we play random games. And well, that we try to basically figure out what to do on Saturdays. On Fridays, I do my random games. Sometimes I might do Monster Hunter World or a bit of Halo or a bit of both in between. But then Sundays are my bad voice acting streams. I'm playing visual novels with a bunch of VTuber friends, um, and, and basically doing a bad voice acting impression of the characters. I'm trying to, but at the same time, we're trying our best, but being bad at the same time.
It's the folks who got the D in class keep they're doing they're
Yeah.
they're doing about everything they can. They turned out all the papers in. They're just not so good.
That's so good, yeah.
Well, I have to say this: you have a very unique voice, which I think would be very good for voice acting.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I just have to basically kind of get into like audition with like other voice acting, like um having in like other projects like a bridge shows or basically fan dubs,
Hmm.
because I feel like that would be really good. Because sometimes I can go like a really high voice,
Hmm.
because the voice range of my voice, and then I can go with like a low voice.
Yeah, yeah. Do you find it hard to say you were doing a character voice? Do you find it hard to find it again after you've done it once?
Sometimes it does, but like for certain characters like Makoto Naegi, I use my real voice
Hmm.
sometimes, but like I added like a little bit of dramatic flair.
Hmm.
Sometimes with Nagito I think it was not hold on one second. I was like it was this one character I believe it was Nagito, I believe.
Hmm.
Nagito.
Yeah. Is that
It
from
was from yeah, Nagito Komaida. We're doing Danganronpa 2 at the moment. So
right?
so basically I just do like a little bit of a raspy voice. That's how you do like
Yeah.
Nagito Komaida. And then sometimes with Monokuma, I just go be with that delicious despair.
Well, listen to that. I mean, that's a good range. I mean, you'll be able to do this. I have no doubt about that. Now, I would
Yeah.
have, and being an old radio guy, we are always old radio people are always jealous of people who voice act. So just that's all there is to it because we do one voice and that's it. But
Yeah.
I could never find the voice again if I did one. So how do you keep able to do that? How are you able to do that?
So basically, I'm trying to figure out what the voice actor did in that situation and see how I can kind of improve on it. Or
Mm.
sometimes I listen to the Japanese dub and basically go off from that.
Mhm.
Um, and if I'm voice acting, I want to get into the shoes of the character. I want to see. I want sometimes I read up on their lore and find out what they do in life and what led them to this point in the series.
Yeah. So you kind of method voice act.
It's a bit of a method voice acting. I don't really get into it
Mm.
like some method actors do,
You don't
but
you don't
sometimes
you don't live the character for like a month before you do the character.
yeah, no, I just read up on their history and everything and try to like go see how they be
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a great way to do it, and that does give you enough immersion to consider how the voice would be affected in different situations, I imagine.
Yeah, basically because like with Nagito, he's like a bit of a hopeful addict, so sometimes I just go like really smooth when doing Nagito whenever he's in that hopeful, dramatic moments
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
It's like really hard, but with Monokuma, it's like he goes like really angry and then just goes happy again,
Yeah.
and it's
But it's got to be manic too at the same time.
it has to be manic, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Actually, I think what got me into voice acting was actually from video games and other VTubers who are voice actors, actually, like Monarch and Sayu.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about the game that you're referencing is the Danganronpa series, and
Yeah, basically.
and that is a series that is absolutely um, fertile ground for people to try out their voice acting skills. I think.
Yeah, because like most of the Danganronpa like story, it's it's actually just not been voiced a lot in the sections. The
Yeah.
only voice sections are literally in either some certain cutscenes or in the class trials.
Hmm.
So which gives us as like people our bad voice acting group free range on what the character would do in that situation, and it's been really fun actually ad-libbing as well, adding some certain lines that didn't make sense or just trying to make sense.
Yeah. But yeah, have you found some? When are you doing these in these sessions? Are you doing games that are already made? What are you actually bad voice acting with?
So, so in certain visual novel games,
Mm,
they are neither some part of the game is either voice act or not. If I find some games that are not voice act or just Japanese dub, no English, I would have me and my friends try to do this. It's been a lot of fun lately.
So, with the Japanese dub, do you actually try to find out what they're trying to say, or do you just make it up on the spot?
So for the Japanese dub version of games, they have the English translation,
Mm,
but they don't have the English dub version of it.
uh-huh.
So think of it as like a pictured subbed light novel
Mm. That may or may
translated out of that.
that may or may not be translated very well.
Yeah, basically. And so it's up to us bad voice actors to try and figure out what the heck are we reading.
That does sound like a lot of fun. That does sound like a lot of fun. That's on Sundays?
Yeah, Sunday 6 p.m. EST.
All right. So check that out. We'll have all the links in the description for the interview coming up after we're done here. But um, so you've got those games going on. Is there some game coming up in the future you really want to add to the channel?
So I am in the process of actually trying to find different games I want to play,
Hmm.
but due to my computer's limited hardware, I'm just streaming this on a laptop
Mm.
that's surprisingly doing well for a VTuber. I really want to do some funny moments like with Lethal Company streams
Yeah.
or some Valorant streams. I also have like some. I want to do a Let's Play once in a while, some
Hmm.
because um, what got me into content creation was a Let's Player.
Hmm.
I don't want to name him at the moment because of controversies and everything,
Ah,
but
okay.
they got me um, into YouTube
I
when I was just bored, and ever since then, I've just been in the world of YouTube and Twitch, and I'm content creating as well.
Well, so you basically embraced it completely at this point.
Yeah, but sometimes I just like take a step back forward and just try to relax or just trying to like think ahead because at the same time I'm in college, I'm trying to balance these things out. If my Twitch or my VTuber career goes wonderful and if I try to get into voice acting, then maybe I could do this for a like lifetime. It'd be awesome to do this um lifetime, but the stress can get to you and everything, and
Yeah.
sometimes I just do this part time.
Yeah. Well, college stress can get to you too. I'm sure you you found that out by
Yeah,
now.
it
Yeah.
really does.
Yeah. And well, maybe you make enough to pay off a student loan or 12.
Maybe.
Yeah, let's all hope for that one. um,
Yeah.
we, we're in, even old people are in that boat. um,
Yeah.
the the ability to do this and be a student full time has that caught you in the crossways every once in a while where you've kind of like, well, I
It
really do need to study for this, but
it really does, but that's why I try to set myself on a set schedule every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday I'm supposed to stream today, but I was just so tired out.
yeah,
Friday at this time of the recording.
yeah, yeah. We'll have it up on the day of the recording here, but yeah, it's I think people who watch and enjoy and follow VTubers need to realize that there are human beings back there that
Yes.
sometimes the days
We're
aren't good for them.
yeah, sometimes as we're content creators.
Hmm.
We do content to make you guys entertain and have fun, but at the end of the day, we're still human.
Yeah,
Um and that sometimes we got to take a seat back, clear our minds before we continue doing this.
yeah, and you've got to remember that too. I mean,
Yeah,
you
but
can't put too much on your own shoulders and try to go through something that you don't need to do. So this was a character that meant a lot to you then.
yeah, when I was like in ninth grade, I was doing a lot of role playing. And Red Rose was actually one of my first original characters. It's cheesy, yeah, it's a sibling to a main character, but
Mm.
as I made the character and created his story, um, he basically differs from the main character eventually. But
Yeah.
I
Well, I
made
mean,
him his own team and everything, and that's actually the origins of the Royal.
yeah.
The Y stands for Galvin Yase. A is for Arkitsune, and C is for Celeste Lapis. If you can find the art, congratulations. That's what they look like.
Well, you made it your own is the thing, and it's yours now, and you're carrying on with it and doing a very good job with it. So obviously, you're enjoying yourself because you're still doing this. When a lot of people would at this point say, "I need to concentrate on one thing or another." You've managed to keep both going, and that takes a lot of work. Do you get any rest?
Uh, of course I do. I make sure that when I get home, I go and basically rest up, try to schedule out my whole thing and make sure that I rest up. I have a set schedule going, recording sessions, if I could do recording sessions,
Yeah.
and stream sessions all ready to go for this week. Let's do this.
So as long as you've got the schedule down and you don't deviate too much from it, you're good.
Yeah, basically. I'm just making sure that I'm well rested, I'm focused for streaming. Let's do this.
Yeah. Well, sounds like you've got a plan and you're settled in pretty good with it. Now,
Yep.
now, what is your goal for this year? I mean, we're over a third of the way
My
through now.
my goal for this year is actually to become a 3D VTuber.
Mm,
And actually trying to hit 1,000 followers, or basically 200, because we actually hit 100 followers, this year.
mm-hmm.
So 200 it might be a good goal for.
Yeah. And what are you going to do with it? Are you going to continue to put up on other channels or other other types of things to kind of advertise your channel?
Um, so like with like being a college student, you don't really have time for editing videos or hiring an editor at the moment. So
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for me to advertise myself,
Mm-hmm.
per se, because I don't have the resources with me to actually do all of this.
Mm. Yeah. So are you kind of relying on a Discord server or a a certain type of collaboration? Are you able to do that type of networking?
Sometimes, sometimes it's collabs, but I don't want to feel like I'm using people to my advantage. I want them to be my friends, and through collaboration, I have made so many good friends
Mm-hmm.
on the VTuber platform.
Yeah.
And it's honestly been awesome to do.
Yeah. That's one of the great things about it is people that you may never meet them in person and may never see them, may never even know what they look like, but you can meet up with them every week and be a part of their lives and they be a part of your life.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
I treat them as my friends first, then my colleagues,
Hmm.
because honestly, I love making more friends. It's honestly amazing that I have this much friends because of VTubing.
Well, it must be because you're doing something good because it sounds like you're enjoying yourself. It sounds like that you've got a really good plan going. I'm not going to put any bets against you. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I, I think that you got some stuff going on here, and for folks who want to tune in and find some of that stuff going on, what is the name of your channel on Twitch?
Twitch is actually my VTuber name, RedRYAL, RYAL.
Hmm.
Same thing for YouTube and same thing for everything else. I have a TikTok, but I haven't made any shorts lately, so
It's
that's why I haven't posted anything.
more tick than talk right now, so and not enough talk. So that's so
Yes.
sooner or later you'll get your talk quotient up. Red Royal, it's been a pleasure talking with you. I think you got things going. I think that you're obviously very talented, and folks are going to continue to come out and see what you're up to.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on this interview. It's been actually awesome to actually talk with you.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.